Welcome to the Emerson Waldorf School, inspired by international and local communities to promote education and human development in a setting designed to be in harmony with nature. The school is set on a beautiful 55-acre wooded campus near Chapel Hill, North Carolina. The pre-kindergarten through high school curriculum meets the needs of students at each stage of development through individual relationships with teachers and a wide range of activities.
Hello, my name is Whitney McDonald. I have been a teacher at the Emerson Waldorf School for the past 12 years. The last 8, I was a class teacher, taking a class from 1st through 8th grade. And the last 4, I've been the PE teacher and athletic director and coach here at the school. The Emerson Waldorf School is part of the worldwide Waldorf movement, a movement that has over 900 Waldorf schools in virtually every continent in the world except for Antarctica. There are schools from South America, North America, Africa, Asia, and many in Europe. And although it's fairly new in this area of the Southeast, we as a school have been here for 23 years. We began in a church basement 23 years ago in Chapel Hill, and about 20 years ago bought the campus that we now have our school on. It is a 55-acre campus consisting of an early childhood, grade school, and high school. Waldorf education was begun by a man named Rudolf Steiner, who was a philosopher, scientist, doctor. Steiner recognized that stages of development that children go through are very unique, and each age represents its own challenges and its own developmental milestones, which must be met and met fully if a child is to grow properly and be prepared for the academic work that would be required of him. The early childhood program and the first 7 years of life, Rudolf Steiner saw as the beginning of the development of what he called the will, the doing in life. And if you spend any time with young children, it's all about doing. They really don't want to hear much philosophizing, and they don't want to necessarily do academic type of work. They want to get their hands on things. They want to be in constant motion. And so Steiner said that taking advantage of these natural tendencies of early childhood, we should give them things in their environment that are worthy of their imitation. Because this is really what you see in young children, is that they imitate the things that are around them. And so you'll see in the early childhood program that everything around the children are natural materials that are worthy of their sensory stimulation. The things that they see the adults doing around them are practical and useful things that were done in everyday life. Typically you will see them cooking and knitting and doing things of that nature, artistic work, but also really giving them an opportunity to stimulate their imagination, which is the other important part of the early childhood program. Experienced Waldorf educators will tell you that the ability for a child to really delve into their play and if you will, become lost in play is the hallmark of Waldorf education, and it leads to the possibility that people, when they are adults, can become lost in their work. They could love their work so much that they could be lost in it as a child would be in play. The toys and the materials that are given in the kindergarten are largely unfinished. You'll see that the faces on the dolls are generally just a pair of eyes, so that doll can be happy, it can be sad, it can be full of joy, it can be sleeping, it can do all of the things that a child's imagination would want it to do. Otherwise, they're basically building materials. They're cloths, they're different stones and pieces of wood that children can create anything that their imagination desires. And if you were to visit our kindergarten, you would see every day a beautiful world created right there in the kindergarten, coming directly out of the children's imagination. Also in part of the early childhood, and something that is stressed very strongly in Waldorf education, is developing good rhythms and routines for young children. Children need to have a sense that there is order in the world. And when the children come in the morning, there's time to play. They know that each day of the week is going to have a special snack, whether it be making bread or soup. And that after their playtime, there will be a cleanup time, which is often initiated by the children and the teachers singing a song together. That'll be followed by some play outside, and then coming into the kindergarten and having a circle time where they will hear stories, they will sing songs, they will do simple movement games. The grade school years mark a transition in a child's development. There is basically a recapitulation of the development of human consciousness. Obviously, a child in first grade is not as aware of things in the world as a child in eighth grade would be. And so in first grade, they'll start out with fairy tales. And fairy tales are these ancient stories that come from all over the world, and yet each of them hold very similar archetypal images. The mother, the father, the river, the mountain, the dark forest, the hut in the woods, the wise old woman, the evil stepmother, different things of that nature. These are things that you see over and over again. And in these very simple and beautiful stories are basically a picture of the wisdom that mankind has developed over time. These are developed in a way that children can really take them in, and that the images that are given there are such that they live in the children. They're not a fixed academic, dry idea. They're something that they can really picture and imagine in their mind. In the second grade, the curriculum calls for the use of fables juxtaposed against legends of great people. People who have gone beyond their common humanity and lived lives in service of others. So you have on the one hand this picture of kind of the lower human qualities that are explored in the fables of greed and trickery and those types of things. On the other hand, these legends, people are chosen who have gone beyond their lower qualities of humanity and really decided to live exemplary lives where they were really seeking to be of service to the people around them. And in this, children are able to look at themselves and choose between their qualities that might be less admirable and the real human qualities that we try to develop here in the Waldorf School.